Hello guys, welcome to another video. This one is paper 2-2 of October-November 2015. So let's move on to question number 1. So here we have, it is given that f of x is this expression given to you. Now part 1, show that x plus 2 is a factor of f of x. So pretty easy. First let's find the value of x. So x plus 2, let's equate that to 0. X is equal to minus 2. So replace this value back in your equation. If it is a factor, that should give you 0. So let's do that. So f of minus 2, that will be 4 times minus 2 power 3, minus 4 times minus 2 power 2, minus 15 times minus 2 plus 18. So first one will be 4 times minus 8, that will be minus 32, minus 4 times 4 will be 16, that will be plus 30, and plus 18. So let's try that. So minus 32 minus 16 plus 30 plus 18, that should be 0. So this gives you 0. So this shows that it is a factor of f of x. Now part 2, hence factorize f of x completely and solve for the equation. So how do you factorize? You have to divide by using the factor. We have to do long division. Okay, so here we have this. We have 4x cube minus 4x square minus 15x plus 18. Now the factor has been given to you as x plus 2. Okay, now first question is, how can you make x become 4x cube? You have to multiply by 4 and then x square. So this multiplied by this, you will have 4x cube plus 8x square. These two will be cancelled out. Now minus, so minus 4 minus 8, that will be minus 12x squared, minus 15x plus 18. Now for this one, how can you make x become this? You have to multiply by minus 12x. That will be minus 12x squared minus 24x. So these two cancel out. Now minus 15, minus become plus. So minus 15 plus 24, that should be 9. That will be 9x plus 18. Now same question, how can you make x become 9? You have to multiply by plus 9. That will be 9x plus 18, and that should give you 0. So now basically what happens is f of x can be written as this, which is x plus 2, multiplied by this, which is 4x squared minus 12x plus 9. Now this one is a linear factor, this one is a quadratic factor, so we can factorize this if you want to. So let's do that. That will be x plus 2 factorize into 2 brackets. So what is 4x squared? It is 2x times 2x. Now what is 9? 9 is 3 times 3, so 3 times 3. Now for us to get minus 12 has to be minus 6 minus 6. So 2x times 3 is minus 6, so minus 3, that will be, sorry. So 2x times minus 3 is minus 6, minus 6, so minus 12. That will be your factorization of f of x. Now next question is to solve the equation. So we have to equate that to 0. So x plus 2, 2x minus 3, 2x minus 3 is equal to 0. So x plus 2 is equal to 0. X is equal to minus 2. And this one, x is equal to 3 over 2. So now we have two values of x for your solution. X is equal to minus 2 and x is equal to 3 over 2. And that will be your question number 1. Let's move on to question number 2. Part 1, find the simplest form, the first 3 terms of this expansion. Okay, so let's do that. The first term will be pretty easy. So we write 6 choose 0. The first is 2, and then we have minus 3x. Right. Now if this is 0, this has to be 0. 6 minus 0 is 6, so that will be power 6. That's your first term. Now plus, your second term is 6 choose 1. The first will be 2, and then we'll have minus 3x. If you have 1 here, it has to be have 1 here as well. 6 minus 1 is 5. That is your second term. And finally, your third term will be 6 choose 2. and minus 3, that should be 2. 6 minus 2 will be 4. Now let's expand one by one. This one is 6, choose 1 is 1. 2 power 6 is what? 2 power 6, that should be 64. So 64, and this is 1, plus 6 choose 1 is 6. 2 power 5 is 32, and this is minus 3x. Now plus, what is 6 choose 2? That should be 15, times 2 power 4 is 16 times 9x squared. Now simplify. For the first one, it becomes 64. This is 6 times 32 times minus 3, that should be minus 576x. And finally, 15 times 16 times 9, that should be plus 2160x squared. So that is the expansion of this for the first three terms. The next one is find the coefficient of x squared in this expansion. So if you want to expand this, that will become 1 times 2 minus 3x power 6 plus 2x times 2 minus 3x power 6. Now for the first one, it is just a constant. We have to choose the one in x squared, that will be this one. So 1 times 2160x squared. Now for this one, we have 2x already, so we have to multiply by this one to get x squared. So basically, we have 2x multiplied by minus 576x. So let's simplify. You will have 2160x squared. 2 times minus 576, that will be minus 1152x squared. 2160 minus 1152, that should be 1008x squared. But your answer is only the coefficient, so your answer is 1008 for the coefficient of x squared. That will be your question number 2. Let's move on to question number 3. Relative to the point O, the points A and B and C have these position vectors. Now, all the distances are measured in kilometers. A man drives at a constant speed directly from A to B in 20 minutes. Part 1. Calculate the speed in kilometers per hour at which the man drives from A to B. So, to find speed, you know, so speed is equal to distance divided by time. So we have to find distance, we have to find time. Time has been given to you for 20 minutes, so time is 20 minutes. How do you make minutes become hours? You have to divide by 60 for it to become hours. That is 1/3 hours. Now for the distance, we have to find the distance AB. Okay, how do you find distance AB? So we have to find the magnitude of AB. So we know that OA has been given to us by the first one, 5, 4, and OB has been given to us by this one, minus 10 and 12. So now to find AB is just equal to OB minus OA. That will be minus 10, 12, minus 5, 4. That will be minus 15, and 12 minus 4 will be 8. Now what is the magnitude of AB? That will be square root of 15 squared plus 8 squared. So 15 squared plus 8 squared, square root, that should be 17. So magnitude of AB is 17. And to find the speed, replace back in your formula. So speed is equal to distance, which is 17, divided by time in hours. That should give you what? Let's check. 17 divided by 1/3. That should be 51 km per hour. So your answer will be speed is, so write down, the speed is 51 km per hour. Now for part 2, he now drives directly from B to C at the same speed, which is 51 km per hour. Now part 2, find how long it takes for him to drive from B to C. So speed is equal to distance divided by time. So time is equal to distance divided by speed. So we still have to find the distance. So what is distance of BC? We know that OB has been given to us by minus 10, 12, and OC has been given to us by 6 minus 18. So what is the BC? BC will be OC minus OB. OC will be 6 minus 18, and OB will be minus 10, 12. So simplify. So 6 minus 10, that should be 16. And minus 18 minus 12, let's check. That should be 30, but let's check. Yep, minus 30. So what is the distance BC? We have to find the magnitude of BC. That will be square root of 16 square plus 30 square. So 16 square plus 30 square, square root of that should give you 34. So now we have the distance, we have the speed, we find the time. So time is equal to distance, which is 34, divided by speed, which is 51. So divided by 51, that should be, fraction will be 2 over 3 hours. Now in terms of minutes, if you want to, times 60, that should be 40 minutes. So time taken will be 40 minutes. And that will be your question number 3. Let's move on to question number 4. Given that A is this matrix, B is this matrix, find 2 times BA. So first we can find B times A. That will be B is 1 minus 2, minus 2, 3, and 4, 0. And A is given by 2, 3, 7, minus 1, 5, and 4. So to find BA, we have to use our product rule when coming down to matrix. That will just be rows by column. So rows by column. So for the first one is 1 times 2 plus minus 2 times 3 plus 4 times 7. That should be 24 for your first value. Now again, rows by column. That will be 1 times minus 1 plus minus 2 times 5 plus 4 times 4. That should be 5. And then rows by column. Minus 2 times 2 plus 3 times 3 plus 0. That should be 5 again. And then rows by column. Minus 2 times minus 1 plus 3 times 5 plus 0. Sorry, try again. So minus 2 times minus 1 plus 3 times 5 plus 0. That should be 17. This is B times A, so we have to find 2 multiplied by 2. That should be 48, 10, 10, and 34. So this is your answer for part A. Now for part B, we have to find C inverse. So to find the inverse of C, we have to first find the determinant of C. So first we have to cross multiply. 1 times 6 is 6 minus 1 times 2 is minus 2. That will be 8. Now what is the ideal matrix of C? That will be, switch these two, that will become 6, 1, and switch the sign of these two, that will become 1 and minus 2. So C inverse is equal to 1 over determinant times this matrix, 6, 1, minus 2, 1. Now we have to use this to find the value of x. Hence find the matrix x in this equation. So we have Cx plus D equal to I. So Cx is equal to I minus D. I is just 1, 0, 0, 1 minus D. D has been given to you by 3, 1 minus 2, 4. That is 1 minus 3 is minus 2, minus 2 is 2. This is minus 1 and this is minus 3. This is this matrix. Now C, we have to eliminate C. We have to multiply by C inverse on both sides. So this will become I. This will be x, C inverse, I minus D. So C inverse, we have seen it is equal to 1 over 8 times 6, 1 minus 2, 1 times this, which is minus 2 minus 1 2 minus 3. So as always, rows by column. So let's do that. 1 over 8 multiply. So row is 6 times minus 2 plus minus 2 times minus 1. That should be minus 10. And then for this one, that will be 6 times 2 plus minus 2 times minus 3. That should be 18. Then we have 1 times minus 2 plus 1 times minus 1. That should be minus 3. And 1 times 2 plus 1 times minus 3. That should be minus 1. So this is your value for x. Okay, and that will be question number 4. Let's move on to question number 4. Given that A is this matrix, B is this matrix, find 2AB. So we can first find AB. So what is AB? Product of AB will be 2, 3, 7, minus 1, 5, 4, times B, which is 1, minus 2, minus 2, 3, 4, 0. So the way you multiply matrix is always rows by column. So let's do that. So 2 times 1 is 2, plus minus 1 times minus 2 is 2. So 2 plus 2 is 4. So rows by column again. So 3 times 1 is 3, plus minus 10, that should be minus 7. And 7 times 1 is 7, minus 8, that should be minus 1. Now next one, this one it will be 2 times minus 2 is minus 4, minus 3, that will be minus 7. Then we have 3 times this will be minus 6 plus 8, that will be 2, minus 14 plus 12, that should be minus 2. And for the last one, we have 2 times 4 is 8 plus 0, that is 8. That should be 12. And that should be 28. That is AB. Now to find 2AB, have to multiply this by 2. That should give you all the values 2 inside. So 8 minus 14 minus 2 minus 14, 4 minus 4, 16, 24, 56. That is 2AB. Okay, now for part B, the matrices C and D are given by these two. First one, find the C inverse. So to find inverse of C, we first have to find the determinant of C. First step is to cross multiply. So 1 times 6 minus 1 times 2. That will be 6 minus 2. That will be 8. Now what is the adjoint matrix of C? That will be, have to switch the position. 6 becomes here 1. Switch the sign. This becomes 1 and this becomes minus 2. So from this we have C inverse equal to 1 over determinant, which is 8 times this matrix. Okay, that is part 1. Now for part 2, hence find the value of x such that we have this equal to 1. So I is your identity matrix. So let's form this equation. So we have to find x. So we have Cx plus D is equal to I. Now Cx is equal to I minus D. So what is I? I is 1, 0, 0, 1 minus D. D has been given to you by 3, 1 minus 2, 4. That should be 1 minus 3 is minus 2. 0 minus minus 2 will be plus 2. 0 minus 1, that will be minus 1. 1 minus 4 is minus 3. So here you have this matrix. Let's call this one our matrix Y. Let's call it Y. Let's call this one Y. So you have Cx equal to Y. So for you to find x, you have to eliminate C. So you have to multiply by C inverse on both sides. So this one becomes I. So it becomes x equal to C inverse times Y. So what is C inverse? We have found in there. C inverse is this matrix. Replace x is equal to 1 over 8, 6, 1, minus 2, 1, times y is this one. Minus 2 minus 1, 2 minus 3. So let's simplify. Let's see what we have. As you know, matrix multiplication is rows by column. So let's do that. 6 times minus 2 plus minus 2 times minus 1. That should be minus 4 for the first one. Then same thing, 6 times 2. 6 times 2 plus minus 2 times minus 3, that is plus 6. That should be 18. Now next one, we'll have this one, 1 times minus 2 plus 1 times minus 1. That should be minus 3. And last one we have 1 times 2 plus minus 3 times 1. Sorry, 1. So that should be minus 1. Okay, so this will be your matrix X. If you want to bring this in, you can do that as well, but you don't need to. But that should be enough for your value of X. That is your question number 4. Let's move on to question number 5. Solve the following to find the values of P and Q. So for the first one, if you check, here we have base of 2, here we have 4, and here we have 8. So we know that 8 is equal to 2 power 3, and 4 is equal to 2 power 2. So let's change every one to base of 2. So for the first one, it will become 2 power 3 multiplied by q minus 1 times 2 power 2 p plus 1 equal to 2 power 2 times 7. That should bring you to 3q minus 3. When you have multiply, it becomes plus on top, so plus 2p plus 1 equal to 2 power 14. Now let's simplify. So you will have 2. This is q, 3q plus 2p. That should be your main part. So let's do this first because this can be kind of confusing. Let's just do this on both sides. We can take out the 2. You will have 3q minus 3 plus 2p plus 1 become 14. So 3q plus 2p equal to 14 minus 1 is 13 plus 3, that will be 16. That is your equation number 1. Now for this one, the same thing as well. 9 is 3 power 2. 81 is 3 power 4. Replace, you will have 3 power 2p minus 4 times 3 power q equal to 3 power 4. Now this becomes 2p minus 8. When you have multiplied, it is plus q equal to 3 power 4. Now when you have 3 on both sides, we can cross them out. So you will have 2p minus 8 plus q is equal to 4. Now let's make q the subject of formula. So q is equal to 4 plus this will become 12 minus 2p. This is your equation number 2. Now we can replace the value of q, as you can see here, q in this equation. So 3 times q will be 12 minus 2p plus 2p equal to 16. That will be 36 minus 6p plus 2p equal to 16. So minus 6p plus 2p will be minus 4p. 16 minus 36, that should give you minus 20. But let's double check, who knows? So 16 minus 36 minus 20. So p will be equal to 5, and the value of q will be 12 minus 2 times 5, that will be 2. So finally, the value of p is 5, and the value of q is 2. That is for part A. Now for part B, let's solve this equation. We have log of 3x minus 2 plus log of x plus 1 and 2 minus log of 2. Now, one thing we can do is we can change this to log as well. So to get, so what is log? Log is just log of base 10. Now, we have 2 here. So how can you change 2 to this? So basically that is, so 1, we know the value of 1 is equal to log of base 10 to 10. Now value of 2, it will be 2 times this, right? So this is equal to log of base 10. We send the power over here, you will have 10 power 2, which is log of base 10, which is 100. Now log of base 10, it is just log 100. So 2 here is log of 100. So replace. So these two is plus. We can just multiply them. You will have 3x minus 2 multiplied by x plus 1. This one becomes log of 100 minus log of 2. So next step, let's expand this one. You will have, okay, let's first do something. Let's first simplify here. You will have what? You have log. This is 100 minus is divide by 2. That will be 50. On this side, you will have log of. If you expand, you will have 3x times x. That is 3x squared. Of course, bracket. And then you will have 3x times 1 is plus 3x minus 2x minus 2. Now we have log on both sides. We can cancel. So you will have 3x squared plus x minus 2 is equal to 50. Now let's simplify. Let's see what we have. You have 3x squared plus x minus 2 minus 50 is minus 52 equal to 0. Now what are the factors of 52? Let's check. 52 divided by 6, 52 divided by 7, divided by 8, divided by okay, so I don't know what other factors are. So what can I do is, I know I can do by 2 for sure. That should be 26. Okay, 2 times 26. So what I will do is I will just use formula in that case. So A is equal to 3, B is equal to 1, C is equal to minus 52. So X is equal to plus minus. So minus, first minus B, that will be minus 1, plus minus root of B squared is 1 minus 4 times A times C. That should be 625 divided by 2 times 3, that should be 6. So root of that should be 25. So x is equal to minus 1 plus minus 25 divided by 6. So for your first value is minus 1 minus 25 divided by 6. That should be x is equal to minus 4 1/3, or it can be, let's take another value, minus 1 plus 25 divided by 6. X can be equal to 4 as well. Now let's see if that value is valid. If you were to replace this in here, you will have log of minus 4 over 1 over 3 minus 1, sorry, plus 1. That should be error. So in that case, this is not valid. We can only take one value, which is this. So finally, x is equal to only 4 as your positive value. That is your question number 5. Now let's move on to question number 6. We have this curve right here, as you can see, from 0 to 2 pi. Now, the figure shows a curve of y equal to a plus b sine cx. So part 1, we have to find the values of a, b, and c. So first, let's find the value of a. A is your baseline. Baseline is where is a line that cuts your curve exactly in half. If you observe, you would say, okay, this line is the line that cuts my curve exactly in half. So this is my baseline, which is y equal to 3. So your value of a will be equal to 3. Now for the value of b, b is the amplitude. Amplitude is from the baseline, what is the minimum distance and the max distance on both sides. So from that line, you see, we have 1, 2, and here we have 1, 2. So basically, the value of b, which is your amplitude, is equal to 2. Now finally, for the value of c, is the number of cycles in your interval. So here we have from 0 to 2 pi, we have 1 cycle, 2, 3, and 4. So the value of c will be 4, is the number of cycles. So a is 3, b is 2, and c is equal to 4. Now for part 2, using your values of a, b, and c, and d, so a, b, c, find dy by dx. So y is now, a is 3 plus 2 sine 4x. Find dy by dx, that is equal to 0 plus 8 cos 4x. So 8 cos 4x is your dy by dx. That is your question number part 2. Now let's move on to part 3. The equation of the normal to the curve at. So we have to find the equation of the normal to the curve at this point. So to find the equation of a line, first you have to find the gradient of the normal. So to find the gradient of the normal, you first have to find the gradient of the tangent. Tangent is just dy by dx at this point, at x equal to pi by 2. So let's replace this back in your equation. So this is your dy by dx. So dy by dx, we have know that it is equal to 8 cos 4x. Now replace here, you will have 8 cos 4 times x. X is pi by 2. So you can work in radians if you want to, radians. So pi by 2 is pi over 2. That should give you 8. So 8. Now gradient of tangent is 8, which means gradient of normal will be minus 1 over 8. Now we have to use this point. So y minus 3 over x minus pi by 2 is equal to minus 1 over 8. Next we have to cross multiply. This will give you 8y minus 24 equal to minus x plus pi by 2. 8y is equal to minus x plus 24 plus pi by 2. That is your equation of your normal. And that will be your question number 6. Let's move on to question number 7. So here we have a cone of height 8. Height is 8, as you can see, and a base radius of 6. This is your radius of 6. It's placed over a cylinder of, this is a cylinder of radius r and height h. Okay. Now it says it is in contact with a cylinder along the cylinder's upper rim. Okay. Basically it touches each other, as you can see. This is a cylinder, touches with a cone on the inside. The arrangement is symmetrical, and the diagram shows a vertical cross-section through the vertex of the cone. Okay, this is basically saying this is what you can see when you cut them, and then from the inside you have the cylinder touching the two sides of the cone, and here we have your radius of the cone. This is the radius of the cylinder, and the height of your cone is given to you as well. Now that's okay, no big problem. Let's follow up with a question. So using similar triangles, express h in terms of r. So h is here and r is here, right? We know the value of r. Now we have to express h in terms of r. How can we do this? We have to use similar triangles. So now if you observe, we have two triangles. The first one is, if you observe, let's call this one the point A, B, and C. So we have a triangle A, B, C. Now the next triangle can be, let's call this one P, S, C. So two triangles. First one is A, B, C, and second one is P, S, C. So two triangles. Now, if this is your radius R, this is also your radius R. Now we know that this is 6. It means that this will be 6 minus R. And this is your h, right? Now for the big one, we have the height is 8, radius is 6. So let's use similar triangle. So let's write this down here so we can see the image and the equation. So first for this, you have h over this height is equal to this radius, which is 6 minus r over 6. That will be the equation that we can form from similar triangles. So let's do that over here. So we have h over 8, 6 minus r over 6. Simplify. We can cross multiply. You will have 6h equal to 8 times 6 minus r. Divide by 2, you will have 3. Here you will have 4. So how is 3h is equal to 24 minus 4r. Now h in terms of r, so h will be divided by 3. You will have 8 minus 4 over 3 r. that is h in terms of r. That is your first equation. Now next one is, hence show that the volume of the cylinder is given by this. As you know, volume of cylinder is pi r square h. We have to replace this h by this h. So pi is pi, r square is r square, h is 8 minus 4 over 3 r, which is 8 pi r square minus 4 over 3 pi r cube. This is shown as required. Now let's move on to the next part. It says that given that the value of r can vary, find the value of r which gives a stationary value of v. Find this stationary value of v in terms of pi and determine its nature. So there's a few things we need to do here. First, we have to find the value of r which gives a stationary value of v. So as you know, at stationary value of v, dv by dr is equal to 0. So first let's equate that. So here we have v, so let's write down, we have v as 8 pi r square minus 4 over 3 pi r cube. That will give you dv by dr is 16 pi r minus 4 pi r square. Now this is equating to 0. So first thing we can do is we can factorize r and pi and 4 outside. That will be outside. You will have 4 here minus r equal to 0. So here we can have 4r pi is 0 and 4 minus r is 0. R is equal to 4 or r is equal to 0. But r is a radius, it cannot be 0, so we don't take this value, we'll take this one. So r is equal to 4. That is your value of r, for which it gives you a stationary value of k. Now find the value. So basically we have to replace this value of r back in the equation. So v is equal to 8 pi 4r square minus 4 over 3 pi 4r cube. So let's find that value. 8 pi times 4 square minus 4 over 3 times pi times 4 power 3. That should be 134.04. So correct to 3SF, that will be 134. The value was centimeter cube. That is your value of v for this stationary value. Now the next one is okay, so the thing is, says find the value in terms of pi. So we have to find we cannot provide decimal, so we have to find in terms of pi. So let's do that again. So first step is we have to factorize pi outside. You will have 8 times 16, that will be 128, and then this is 4 over 3 times 4 power 3. That should be minus 85, 1 over 3. So 128 minus answer, that should be 42, 2 over 3 pi units cube. Units here is volume is 42, 2 over 3 pi centimeter cube for your volume at this value. So this one is not good because the question asks us to find the value of v in terms of pi. It should be in terms of pi. Now next one is to determine its nature. So to find the nature of a point, we have to find d2v by dr2. So we have dv by dr already, so we have to find this pretty easy. So we have to differentiate this again. That will give you 16 pi minus 8 pi r. So replace the value of r, which is 4, and see what do we have. That will be 16 pi minus 8 times 4 is 32 pi. So that will give you something of a negative value. So you would say, since d2v by dr2 is less than 0, the value of v is a maximum value. So that will be the nature of the value. And that will be your question number 7. Now let's move on to question number 8. Solutions to this question by accurate drawing will not be accepted, so we can only do this by calculation. So the first point is, we have 2 points A and B has been given to you. Now part 1, find the coordinates of C, the point where AB cuts the y-axis. So first we have to find the equation of AB. So first, what is the gradient of AB? That is y2 minus y1, 6, x2 minus x1, that will be 12. That will be half. So now equation will be y minus 2 over x plus 3 is 1 over 2. That will be 2y minus 4 is x plus 3. 2y is x plus 7. Now you see at x-axis, at the y-axis, sorry, the value of x is equal to 0. That will be 2y equal to 0 plus 7. So y is 7 divided by 2, which is 3.5. So the point is 0, and then 3.5 is the point where it cuts the y-axis. So C is 0, 3.5. That is your answer for part 1. Now for part 2, find the coordinates of D, which is the midpoint of AB. So to find the midpoint, we have to use your formula, which is pretty easy. It is just x1 plus x2 divided by 2. Then we have y1 plus y2 divided by 2. The points A have been given to you as minus 3, 2, and B has been given to you as 9, 8. So midpoint is your point D is given to you by x1 plus x2 is 6 divided by 2 will be 3. This plus this is 10, that will be 5. So D will be 3 and 5. That is your point D. Now let's move on to part 3. Find the equation of the perpendicular bisector of AB. So what is that line? Let's say you have AB. This is AB, right? You want to find the line which passes through the midpoint of AB at 90 degrees. At 90 degrees. So we know this point. This is your point D, which is 3, 5. And we have to find the gradient to find the equation. So from part 1, we know gradient. So gradient of AB is half from part 1. This gives you gradient of the perpendicular bisector will be minus 2. So now using this point, that will be y minus 5 over x minus 2, which will be minus 2 over 1. Cross multiply, that will give you 1 minus 5 is minus 2x plus 4. Y is minus 2x plus 9. That is your equation of the perpendicular bisector of AB. Now the perpendicular bisector of AB cuts the y-axis at the point E. Now you say at y-axis you know that the value of x is 0. Let's find the y coordinate of E. So replace in this equation. Y is equal to minus 2 times 0 is 0 plus 9, that will be 9. So E is 0, 9. Now next one is show that the area of triangle ABE is 4 times the area of triangle ECD. So the point A has been given to you by minus 3, 2. The point B is 9, 8. Now the point C has been given to you by 0, 3.5. The point D is 3, 5, and the point E is 0, 9. So first let's find the area of triangle ABE. Area of ABE is equal to half. We're using the formulas to do that. So A is minus 3, 2. B is 9, 8. E is 0, 9. So when you begin with a point, you have to finish with the same point. Okay, so let's solve. First, we have to multiply this way. So let's do that. Minus 3 times 8 plus 9 times 9 plus 0 times 2 is 0. That will be 57. So we have half 57 minus, now in this direction, that will be 2 times 9 plus 8 times 0 plus 9 times minus 3. That should be minus 9. So simplify, that will become 57 minus 9. So 57 minus 9 divided by 2. That will be 66 divided by 2. That should be 33. So area of triangle ABE is 33. Now what is the area of ECD? So let's do that. So using the same formula, let's find the area of ECD. So area of ECD, that will be half. E is 0.9, C is 0.3.5, and D is 3.5. And then when you begin with a point, you have to finish with the same point. Now the first step is to multiply in this direction. That is 0, 0 plus 27 minus 0, and then 3.5 times 3. That will be 105. So 27 minus answer divided by 2, that should be 8.25. Now we have to show that this area is 4 times this area. So pretty easy. If you divide, say, area ABE divided by area of ECD, that should give you 33 divided by 8.25. Let's see what we get. That should give you 4. So this shows that it is 4 times. So this is your answer for question number 8. Now let's move on to question number 9. Solve the following equation. So first one, we have 4 sine 2x plus 5 cos 2x for x between this and this. So if x is between this and this, it means that 2x has to be between this and 360. That is just good to know. You don't need to do that, but that is good to know. Now the first step we can do is divide everywhere by cos 2x. You will have, for what is sine divided by cos, you will have tan 2x plus 5 is equal to 0. So tan 2x is equal to minus 5 over 4. Now for negative value of tan, it is in your second quadrant and in your fourth quadrant. This is 180 minus theta, and this is 360 minus theta. Now let's first find the value of theta. Theta is found by taking the positive value of this. So tan inverse, let's use degrees. The positive value is 5 over 4. That should be 51.3. But now you want to find the value of 2x. So 2x for the first one will be 180 minus theta. So 180 minus 51.3. That should be 128.7. And this one is 360 minus 51.3. That should be 308.7. Now the value of x will be divided by 2. That will be 64.4. And you will have 308.7 divided by 2. That will be 154.4. That will be your two values for x for that equation. Now let's move on to part number 2. So here we have to solve this one. Let's see what can we do. So we are given with your formula sheet. Let's see if you have cot. If you have cot here, you have cosec. So you have to use this formula. So let's replace and see what do we have. So you have cot 2x is equal to cosec square x minus 1. So replace this by this. So you will have cosec square y minus 1 plus 3 cosec y equal to 3. Now simplify, you will have cosec square y plus 3 cosec y. So minus 1 minus 3 is minus 4 equal to 0. Now factorize. This is cosec y and cosec y. 4 is 4 times 1. To get plus 3, we have to do plus 4 minus 1. So first value is cosec of y is equal to 1. And cosec of y is equal to minus 4. Now what is cosec? Cosec is 1 over sine. Right? So in this case, that will be sine of y is equal to 1 and sine of y is equal to minus 1 over 4. Now let's solve one by one. So for the positive one, y, we know that it is in the first quadrant and in the third quadrant. So sine inverse of 1, that is 90 degrees. So y is 90 degrees. Now for this one, if it is negative, it has to be in your third quadrant, which is this, and in your fourth quadrant, which is this one. So this is 180 plus theta, and this is 360 minus theta. So let's first find the value of theta. Theta is when this is positive, so that will be sine inverse of positive 1 over 4. That will be 14.5. Now we don't want the value of theta, we want y. So y is equal to, the first one is 180 plus theta is 14.5. That will be 194.5. And then this one is 360 minus 14.5. That should be 345.5. Okay, so that's it for your values. So you have three values of y. So y can be 90, can be 194.5, and then 345.5 for the values of y. Let's see, what else do we have? We have question part 3. So here we have to solve this one between radians, giving each answer as a multiple of theta. So your value has to be exact, right? So here we have cos, we have z plus pi by 4. So cos is negative, so for negative value of cos, it has to be in this quadrant and in this quadrant, right? So for this one, it is just pi minus theta, and for this one, it has to be pi plus theta. So first, let's find the value of theta. This is minus half cos. So theta is taking the cos inverse of the positive value. So let's do that. Cos inverse of 1 over 2, that is 60 degrees, which is pi by 3. Now, the value of z plus pi by 4 is equal to, first one is pi minus this, so pi minus pi by 3, and then pi plus pi by 3. Now let's solve. So z will be equal to, so that will be this for the first value, minus pi by 4, and then for the second value, minus pi by 4. So let's simplify. For the first one is pretty easy. That is 1 minus 1 over 3 minus 1 over 4. That should give you 5 over 12 times theta times pi. And this one is 1 plus 1 over 3 minus 1 over 4. That should be 1 over 12. That is 13 over 12 pi for your value of z. Now this is your answer for part 3. And I think that is the last. No, we have another one. Question number 10. So a particle is moving in a straight line such that its velocity v is passing through a fixed point O is given by this equation. So part 1, find the expression for its displacement from the point O after the t seconds. So pretty easy. To find s, we have to integrate v by dt. That will be integration of e 2t minus 6 e power 2t minus 1 dt. That is e 2t divided by 2 minus 6e minus 2t divided by minus 2 and minus t plus c. Now you know that at the value of t equal to 0, v was supposed to be 0. So this gives you 0. This is 1 over 2 plus this is 6 over 2 minus 0 plus c. That will be half plus 3. So c is equal to minus 7 over 2, which is minus 3.5. So going back to your equation, this is s, it's not v, it's s. So s is equal to, this one is e 2t divided by 2 plus 3 e minus t and plus c, which is this. This is your equation for s. Now for part 2, using this sub, otherwise find the time when the particle is at rest. So at rest, we know that v is equal to 0. So let's do this. So first we have v is equal to e 2t minus 6 e power minus 2t minus 1. Now at rest v equal to 0, that will be e 2t minus 6 over 2t minus 1. Now we have to use this substitution, so pretty easy. That is 0 equal to u minus 6 over u minus 1. So now to eliminate this u, we have to multiply everywhere by u. That will become 0 equal to u squared minus 6 minus u. So if you rearrange this formula, that will become u squared minus u minus 6 is equal to 0. So let's continue here. You will have factorization, u times u. 6 is 3 times 2. To get minus 1, you have to be minus 3 plus 2 equal to 0. So u is equal to 3 and u is equal to minus 2. Now u, we have to use this one. U is e 2t equal to 3 and e 2t equal to minus 2. So 2t is ln 3 and 2t is ln minus 2. Now ln minus 2 is not possible because ln cannot take negative values, so this will not be possible. So we have to continue in this one. T will be half of ln 3. So ln 3 divided by 2, that will be 0.549 seconds. That is your answer for part 2. Now for part 3 is find the acceleration at this time. So pretty easy. Acceleration is equal to dv by dt. So we know the value of v is e 2t minus 6 e 2t minus 1. So dv by dt will be 2 times this plus 12 this, and this is 0. So we have to find the value of a at t equal to this value. So this is the value of t, so 2. So 2e power 2 times answer plus 12 this power minus 2 times answer. That should be 10. So a is equal to 10 meters per second square. That is your value of a at this time. Well, I hope that was somewhat helpful. That was the last question, and as always, thank you for watching. I will see you soon.